Welcome you all. So myself is Karthikeyan, working as a faculty in the Department of Aerospace Engineering at B.S. Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. In this video, we are going to discuss the major component or parts of the aircraft and its function, three major axes which is followed in the aircraft design, and similarly, small introduction about high lift devices. I hope at the end of this video, you will get the answer for the following. So I will read it quickly. First of all, the various parts and its functions, starting from cockpit, fuselage, wings, horizontal stabilizer, vertical stabilizer, power plant, landing gear, aileron, elevator, rudder, trimming tab, slat, flaps, spoilers, empennage, fuel tank, propeller, flashing beacon, navigation light, galley, and flight code. And similarly, you will come to know the difference between primary control surfaces and secondary control surfaces, and what are the control surfaces is called as primary and what are the control surfaces called as secondary. That differentiation also you will come to know. And major three principal axes which is followed for the aircraft design, and based on that axis rotation, how the movements are identified. For example, pitching moment, yawing moment, rolling moment, based on the which control surfaces or based on the which axis rotation, we will be able to understand. That details also we are going to discuss. And finally, the high lift devices and its few information. And similarly for your the mechanisms which is involved for the control surfaces and the high lift devices. So all those things quickly we are going to recall it. Since we are discussing about the parts of the aircraft, so we need to follow the some pictures. So most of the pictures I have taken from the net sources only. So the end of the video I have given the sources where I have taken from the pictures. So you can refer that website also for the full detail of these pictures. So here you can see the major part of the aircraft, and similarly within a single slide we cannot able to explain all the parts of the parts of the aircraft. So I have a few slides which is also going to cover the parts of the aircraft, and finally we will cover all the parts which is available in the aircraft. The first part you can call it as a cockpit, where the pilot or co-pilot will be sitting, and they can able to give the commands or controls the overall system of the aircraft. And this is for your fuselage. Here you can able to say like the main body of the aircraft depends upon your purpose of the aircraft. The inside occupancy will be differ. For example, if it is a passenger aircraft, passenger will be occupied. If it is a cargo aircraft, goods will be occupied. So depends upon the purpose. The function of the fuselage also will be differs. And the next, the main part will be the engine. Engine will be helpful to produce the power, especially you can call it as a thrust. So when you're talking about aircraft, we have to know the four major aerodynamic forces are acting. The first one will be lift, second will be drag, and third one will be thrust, and fourth one will be the weight. Okay, so weight depends upon the overall structure, and thrust will be produced by the engine, and lift and drag depends upon the flows over the aircraft component. Okay, so this is a major aerodynamic forces. So now you come to the parts. So this is called main wing. We have the two main wing, and technically we call it as a starboard wing and port wing. Okay, how we can able to understand the meaning of starboard wing and port wing? You have to imagine you are sitting on the cockpit and you are facing on the outside of the aircraft. Okay, you are facing outside of the aircraft. Okay, you have to imagine such a way. If that is the condition, you have to consider your right and left. So for you, which is the right, then that is called starboard wing. You are sitting in the cockpit, you are facing outside. Okay, so that time this is the right direction. So this is a right wing or starboard wing, and this is the left side for you in that condition, and this is a port wing. Okay, so port wing or left side wing, starboard wing or right side wing. So these two wings are called as the main wing, because here only the major amount of lift will be produces. And when you come for the tail portion, this is called tail portion, and this one is called horizontal stabilizer. So these two, the tail wing is called as horizontal stabilizer, and this one is called as a vertical stabilizer. Okay, so in this picture landing gear is not available. So these are all the major component. Okay, cockpit, fuselage, main wing, horizontal stabilizer and the vertical stabilizer, and landing gear. Okay, then when you come for the control surfaces, so there are two type of control surfaces will be available: the primary control surface and the secondary control surface. So what is the meaning of primary control surfaces? For example, rolling action, pitching action, yawing action will be done by the some control surfaces. So that control surface is called as a primary control surfaces. Secondary control surfaces will be support the enhance the performance of the aircraft. That is called the secondary control surfaces. So aileron will be helpful to make a rolling action of the aircraft. So that is a primary control surfaces. Again, elevator will be helpful to making a pitching action of the aircraft. That is called primary control surfaces. Rudder will be helpful for your yawing motion of the aircraft. That is again is called the primary control surfaces. Okay, rudder, elevator, aileron. These three control surfaces called primary control surfaces. Flaps, spoilers, slat, and trimming tab. So trimming tab is not available in this picture. I will show you in the further slides. Okay, so flaps, spoilers, slats and trimming tab. Those four parts are called as the secondary control surfaces. So those two parts will be helpful to enhance the value of lift and drag depends upon the condition. So this is that is why those surfaces called secondary control surfaces. And in this picture you can able to see the another aircraft which is based on the piston powered engine. So previously we saw that a jet powered aircraft. This is a piston powered aircraft. With the help of the propeller we can able to generate the power. Okay, this is the propeller. Okay, and what is the new thing we have to come to know? So here we have to come to know two important terms. Then first one is a flashing beacon. So what is the purpose of the flashing beacon? Flashing beacon normally will be red color. Okay, it will give the intimation to the ground crew members or other aircraft that we are going to start the engine or we are going to shut down the engine. So like that some indication we can able to give by making of the red color light on the tail portion of the aircraft. So that the purpose is called as a flashing beacon. And you can see the navigation light. So navigation light will be available in the tip of the wing section. Okay, what is the meaning of tip? Is nothing but, so this is the wing section totally. Okay, the wing section which is located or fixed onto the fuselage, that portion is called as root of the wing section, and the other which is totally free to the atmosphere, so that portion is called as a tip of the wing section. So this is the root of the wing section, this is tip of the wing section. Okay, the navigation light is always present in the tip of the wing section, especially the port wing. So you know the meaning of the port wing. The port wing or left wing we can see the red color light. Similarly, starboard wing or right wing and the tip we can see the green light. So here is a green light and here is a red light. And similarly for the fuselage they will use for the white color light. Okay, so red light for your flashing beacon also available, and similarly red light for your port or left wing, green light for starboard or right wing, and white light for your fuselage. So these are the lighting system they are following for the aircraft, and for the communication they will place a radio antenna for here for this aircraft. And this is the landing gear. Okay, so other parts are already we discussed in the previous slide. And here also, yeah, here you can see the inner part of the wing section. The inner part, just for understanding I can give in this picture. So the inner part we can see the ribs and spars. Okay, so spars is not available here. Okay, so this video only for the general parts of the aircraft, so we don't want to go deeply the construction detail of the wing section, similarly construction detail of the fuselage. Okay, just for idea purpose only I am giving this picture. Okay, and similarly left side will be flaps called as left flap, right side will be flap called as right side flap. So depends upon the location it will be called. Okay, then for controlling of the rudder we are using the rudder pedal. Okay, the further slide you will become to know how to activate the all the control surfaces and its mechanism. The further slide we are going to discuss. And here you can see the landing gears. So landing gears will be available in the nose as well as main landing gear. So the landing gear which is located in the fuselage, then that is called as a main landing gear, and this is called nose landing gear. And in this picture will be telling to us about the meaning of the empennage. So empennage is nothing but the total tail portion of the aircraft is called as empennage. That includes horizontal stabilizer and vertical stabilizer. Okay, so other parts is similar to the previous slides. Okay, so we don't want to spend time on here. So only we want to know the meaning of the empennage from this picture. And this is a picture I had taken from the Britannia website, so it's very useful. So why it is useful? Because it is exactly covers the real-time aircraft parts. Okay, that is why I am saying that it's very useful. Some parts they will not be shown here. Anyway, it's a very understandable one. So you can see the weather radar scanner. So depends upon the scanner report, you will come to know the weather condition that will be located in the nose of the fuselage. And similarly, in the nose landing gear, that is called as a forward retractable wheels. Okay, and similarly main landing gear. So main landing gear also will be available. That is in the exactly on the fuselage of the aircraft. So this is a main retractable landing gear, you can see. And similarly, this is a commercial aircraft, so they have so many different classification. So this is called as your business class cabin. So very close to the cockpit you can see the business class cabin, and this is called your economic class cabin. So you can see the difference where the business class and the economic class cabin will be located. And similarly, this is the meaning of galley. So galley is the place where the food will be prepared and cooked. So that place is called as a galley. And similarly, the freight hold. The freight hold is nothing but it is a place we can able to loading our luggages. So that is called your flight hold. Okay. Then which is used for the turbo engine. So they mention as called as the turbo engines. And similarly, the location of the oil tank and location of the fuel tank, and the purpose of the spoilers depends upon the spoilers used for the high speed condition or low speed condition, where it is located. All these things are given in detail. Okay, so other component already we may discuss in the previous slides. Okay, so we don't want to again spend time on here. So this is a new thing we will come to know from this picture, the meaning of the galley and freight hold. And I told you there are two type of surfaces, primary control surfaces and secondary control surfaces. Primary control surfaces, aileron, elevator and rudder, and secondary control surfaces, slat, flaps, tabs and your spoilers. Okay, so you can see this is the location of your trimming tabs. So trimming tabs will be located in the all the three primary control surfaces. So you can see in this picture the main wing also we have the trimming tab, and here you can see the horizontal stabilizer we have the trimming tab, and here you can see the vertical stabilizer, there also we have the trimming tab. So that means trimming tab will be located in the all the locations. What is the purpose of the trimming tab? For example, we want to move a small angle of attack or small changes in the direction. So that time we don't want to change the whole surfaces. Like I don't want to move the total surface of the elevator, or I don't want to move the total surface of the rudder. So I want to make only small changes. That time you can able to use it. And similarly, I want to produce the anti-aerodynamic forces. Okay, that time also we can use for the trimming tab. And the spoilers, especially the spoilers will be helpful for during the landing condition. So landing condition, I want to increase the drag and reduce the lift. So once the spoiler surfaces exposed to the atmosphere, that means that previously it is immersed in the wing section. So when you are making just to open to the atmosphere, the flow direction of the flow getting disturbance, the lift will be decreases, drag increases. So automatically it will be helpful for landing purposes. Similarly, the flap and the slat will be used for increase the lift value. Similarly, drag value. So depends upon the position. The further side you will come to know how it will be helpful for increasing the lift as well as increasing the drag. Those details you will come to know on the further slides. And this picture will be explaining about your three axes. Okay, so first you have to understand how the axes are passing through the aircraft. So this is the first axis, longitudinal axis. So longitudinal axis actually passing from the nose of the fuselage to the tail of the fuselage. Okay, you can see from the tail to nose is coming this direction. So if axes are going like this way, this axis is called as longitudinal axis. And this is the tip of the wing for the right side. So this is the tip of the wing for the left side. Okay, the axis which is passing to the right side to the left side of the tip of the wing, the total wing will be covered through this axis, that is called your lateral axis, and normal, vertical or directional axis. So both all are same, normal axis or vertical axis or directional axis. All the three terms will be giving for the same meaning. Okay, so these axes exactly perpendicular to these two axes. Okay, then most important point, all the three axes will be passing to the center of gravity. Okay, so these are the three principal axes passing through the aircraft. This is very useful for designing the aircraft. Then based on the three axes we will get the rotation, and based on the rotation we will get the moment. For example, you can see this is my lateral axis. So based on the lateral axis I am getting the movement, which is rotation, that is called pitching moment. Okay, so this pitching moment will be achieved by the movement of the elevator. Okay, this is my lateral axis. The laterals will be rotate. When the lateral axis rotate, the pitching moment, that means the noses will be going up and down. So this movement will be controlled by the elevator. Similarly, this is my longitudinal axis. So based on the longitudinal axis will be rotate, then automatically called as rolling action. Okay, that means one wing will be going down and another one will be going up. So that like that we will get the movement. So that is called a rolling action. This rolling action will be controlled by the aileron. But you have to consider the elevator, the both the surface of elevator will be moved up and down at the same time. But aileron is not like that. One aileron surface is goes down, another aileron surface is coming up. So these are the opposite direction movement, especially for the aileron. Then this is called yawing. So yawing, the vertical axis, the rotation based on the vertical axis is called as yawing. So yawing action will be controlled by the rudder. Okay, so this is the three axes based on the rotation. Okay, now this diagram will be helpful at what is when we can say the positive and when we can say the negative. For example, you know very well that pitching action. So pitching action will be happen through the rotation of the lateral axis. So lateral axis, you can see the this arrow mark. When aircraft is nose coming upward, the aircraft is nose coming upward, then that is called your positive pitching. Then opposite, when aircraft is going down, the negative pitch. Similarly for rolling action, the rolling action, the left side wing coming up, right side wing going down. So left side is coming up, then right side wing going down. That rotation is called as positive rolling. Then opposite will be negative rolling. Similarly, this is yawing action. When the nose of the fuselage goes to right direction, that time you have to sit in the cockpit, you are seeing away from the aircraft. Okay, that time the nose is going right side, right direction. So that is called positive yawing. Okay, so from this picture we will come to know, we will understand the three axes. Based on the axis what we can give the movement names, and similarly when we can say positive and when we can say the negative. So the same thing will be explained in detail. So you can see here, so this is my lateral axis. Based on the lateral axis I will experience pitching moment, and this is my longitudinal axis. Based on the longitudinal axis I will get my rolling action. This is my vertical axis. Based on the vertical axis, the rolling action I will get my yawing moment. Okay, then you can see this table column will be helpful to understand clearly about the airplane movement, then which axis will be rotate, and similarly the axis rotation will be helpful for which type of the stability. For example, we have the three primary control surfaces, aileron. So based on the aileron we will get rolling action. Okay, so that time longitudinal axis will be rotate. Okay, so rotation of longitudinal axis will be happen for rolling action. The rolling action will be controlled by the aileron. So that will be helpful to make a lateral stability. Okay, lateral stability. So lateral stability will be achieved by the aileron movement. Similarly, elevator, pitching action and lateral axis. The movement of the lateral axis will be the pitching action. It will be controlled by the elevator. Similarly, the stability basis, it will be helpful for understand the longitudinal stability. And again the rudder based on the vertical axis. When the vertical axis rotate, automatically yawing movements will be happen. Then when you're taking for your stability point of view, directional stability will be achieved. Okay, stability is a big topic. We are not, this is a video only covers for the parts of the aircraft, so I will not discuss much about stability. So there are many static stability, dynamic stability, and more consideration will be there, but this is a basic idea based on the which control surfaces we will get the stability, and this is will be helpful for understanding of the control surface mechanism. For example, elevator. So elevator will be controlled by the control sticks. When your control sticks moves forward, the elevator goes down. Okay, when the control sticks moves forward, elevator goes down. When the control sticks moves backward, the elevator comes up. Okay, so that is a mechanism used for the controlling of the elevator. Similarly, when the elevator is goes down, so what will happen? When the elevator is goes down, area increases. Once area increases, airflow will be increases. Once airflow increases, lift increases based on the lift equation. Okay, so lift equation L equal to CL into half rho V infinity square into S nothing but the area. So lift and area directly proportional as per the equation. So area increases, lift increases. So once elevator is downward direction, airflow will be higher, lift will be higher. So the tail portion will go upward direction, because here only lift will be higher. So once the tail portion is going up, automatically nose portion will be coming down. Okay, that you have to understand clearly. Okay, so wherever the surface is going down, the surface's area increases, lift will be increases, that particular location will be going upward direction. And similarly, the aileron I told you the few slides before, it's opposite direction movement. Okay, not like elevator both elevator will be going up and down simultaneously, but you can see this aileron going down, so more area, lift increases, so automatically this surface is going upward direction. And the aileron will be controlled by again a control stick. The control sticks move to the right direction, then automatically left aileron goes down. Okay, the control sticks move the right direction, then left aileron goes down, then opposite direction automatically right aileron is goes up. Okay, so such a way your aileron will be controlled. And here rudder pedal, rudder controlled by the rudder pedal. Okay, you can see that when you press the left pedal, start yawing to the left direction. Okay, so when you are pressing the left pedal, automatically start to the yawing to the left direction. Okay, so such a way your rudder pedal controls the movement of the rudder. And this is the flaps. Again, the flaps will be increases your lift value, because it increases the area, automatically it will increases your lift value, but it depends upon the surface attachment. Okay, the further side you will see how the same flap will be helpful for your decreasing the lift also. And these are the control surfaces, that's what we discussed. So you can see the elevator control. So elevator control front and back, and your aileron control left and right, and your rudder control left and right pedals. So this is based on rudder pedal, and the elevator is based on your stick, aileron also based on the stick. And this is single slide will be helpful to understand all the three movement. For example, the pitching moment, already we discussed. The pitching is nothing but aircraft is nose going up and down, so it will be carried out by the rotation of your lateral axis. So this will be controlled by your elevator. Okay, so you have to consider three things simultaneously. So pitching moment, aircraft is going upward direction, the rotation based on the lateral axis, this is the lateral axis. Okay, rotation based on lateral axis, and is controlled by your elevator. In stability point of view, this is controlled by the longitudinal stability. Okay, and this is my rolling action. The rolling action, especially for your lateral axis will be rotate. So this is a longitudinal axis. Longitudinal axis will be rotate. So longitudinal axis rotation is called as rolling action. It will be controlled by your aileron movement. Okay, and similarly the stability point of view will be the lateral control. So longitudinal axis, then it will be rolling up and down. Okay, you can see your movement of your ring section, and stability point of view will be the lateral control. And this is your yawing motion. So yawing motion is based on your normal axis rotation, so normal or vertical axis rotation. Okay, it will be controlled by the movement of the rudder. Okay, again it will be directional stability point of view. Okay, so nose will be going left and right. And here you can able to see the movement of the control mechanism, just we see in the previous slide. So control stick, movement for front and back, and right and left, and a rudder pedal. And another important topic is called as a high lift devices. So high lift devices is nothing but you want to enhance the lift value for the period of time. So that time these devices will be activated. So that type of device is called as high lift devices. Generally slat and flap is called as high lift devices. The slat is nothing but it's like a surfaces located on the leading edge of the aerofoil. Okay, the aerofoil nothing but is a cross section of the wing section. When you're making the cross section of the wing section, you will get the aerofoil. So the surface will be located on the leading edge is called as slat. Then surfaces located on the trailing edge is called as flaps. Okay, the another one more thing will be available. You have to read it carefully. That is like a span-wise expansion. The span-wise expansion means like the length of the expansions we measured in the based on the length of the wing. That is called span-wise. So the leading edge slat is basically a span-wise expansion, that is called as slat. Okay, but we discussing only slat and flaps, that is SLAT and FLAPES. Okay, so this picture will be helpful to how to increase the surfaces. The second picture will be helpful to how to increase the surfaces. Once increase the surfaces, airflow increases and lift increases. And here is various mechanism. So in this case, first picture, the main wing with fixed slat. You can see the fixed slat. Okay, and sometimes we don't have a separate flap and aileron, separate surfaces. The flap and aileron will be a single surfaces. That type of surfaces is called as a flapron. So that type of arrangement is called as a flapron. So that will be making a function of both aileron as well as flaps. You can see these are two main conditions, especially for climbing and cruise. Climbing means you are increasing your altitude, and cruise means you are trying to move in a constant speed. So for the different condition, how that movement of the aerofoil should be helpful to achieve the particular performance point of view. So that's what the picture says. And here you can see again the mechanism of your slats and the flap, but here the mechanism will be detachable. Okay, the previous side, the previous picture, it is a fixed one. Here it is detachable. So when you are doing the cruise condition, it will be like this. So you can see the area, it will be almost a normal area. But in the case of takeoff condition, we can expand your slat as well as flap at the maximum level. But you should not give the gap. You should not give the gap between the slat and the main wing. Similarly, slat, flap and the main wing. It should be like a attached one. You should not give the any gap, because once you give the gap, automatically the boundary line will be separated. Okay, you can see here now the area increases. Once the area increases, airflow increases, then automatically lift increases. So this type of position of the slat and the flaps needed for the takeoff condition, because while doing the takeoff we need more amount of the lift. The same flap and slat will be useful for landing condition. This time the drag increases because the flow will be disturbed. Previously the flow will be fully attached, continuous flow. Here the flow will be disturbed, automatically the drag value increases. You can see here also surface increases, but there is a lot of gaps. So through this gap, drag value increases. So both flap and slap will be helpful for increasing the lift as well as increasing the drag. So you must be know how to handle these surfaces on the corresponding situation. And this is the last picture. We'll be knowing about the various types of the flaps. So whether I want to use only the small portion to be deployed, or I want to make a full portion to be changes. Okay, so it depends upon your requirement. You can use for the corresponding types of the flap. So this is called split flap and plain flap, and with fixed hinges, and this one is called as double slatted flaps with fixed hinge and fixed vans. Okay, so these are the references. Since a lot of pictures is involved for this video, so these are the main sources I have taken from the pictures. So for the more detail, you can refer the textbook and other sources also. So thank you for watching this video. So for more videos you can refer my channels. So my channel name is Karthikeyan Selvaraj.